Game number 2 in our best of 3 featuring Super Titan Sick and Minion Miners. Chair League Season 5. On Warhead Junction, what do you think as your ban? If you're Super Titan Sick, what do you think you ban here? Do you just take away the Dahaka outright and say, you out-globaled us last game, we're not going to give you Dahaka?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
But it looks like they may be going Mouthfeel again.
It does. I mean, Mouthfeel is super strong, and if you can get into a solid team fight with everybody there, like, yes, Mouthfeel is like super strong. I watched him wipe teams today a couple of times, just because he goes in, he pops that. I'm totally going blank on what it's called. His R, where it's all around him like Kerrigan's.
I've got this one, Tormented Souls.
There it is. That he goes in and he pops Tormented Souls, and he just heals for days and does so much damage. So much damage.
And they brought up an interesting point in chat, too, from the last game, that Kael'thas seems to be a good counter to Stukov because he's got Sustain and Burst, which can maybe outpace what Stukov's putting out.
Right. That makes sense.
So is this a respect ban? Are we missing something? Is there a player on Super Tight that is a crazy Artanis?
It is. You know what? Weirder things have happened. I don't know if it's a respect ban or a we want one of the strong ones that are still out there, same as the last one. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, and it makes sense now why Super Tight didn't ban Dahaka, because they were going to pick him themselves.
Right. That makes sense.
So now do we get a reversal of the Stukov? Do we get Stukov on Minion Miners? We'll see how they value him.
Ooh, that's a good point. And what happens if they don't take Stukov? Does Super Tight take Stukov back? Because Stukov was doing fine healing-wise. His healing output was not the problem. It was he was just stuck with where he was on the team, and I did not expect Brightwing Tracer, but that's what we're getting.
I'm excited about Tracer. She can present so much harass, and this map, again, is so many small skirmishes, so many 1v1 fights that I think there's an opportunity for her to really shine. But this Genji counter, though, that may be rough for her to deal with if they end up squaring off against each other.
Oh, she will blow her own team up so fast with a good protect, it's not even funny. And that one, I'm trying to remember which talent it is, the one where if you block so much damage, boom, you like kill everybody. Yeah, it's this could be a problem for Tracer, but you know, you had to expect that since they didn't ban the Genji, that's what was going to happen.
Right. And Super Tight had that ready. As soon as they saw Tracer, it was bam, instant lock Genji.
Absolutely.
So it looks like Stukov's going to make it through unless Minion Miners decides to go double support. I don't really see Super Tight picking him up at this point.
Minion Miners might, because he does a lot of damage as well. So I could see that being a possibility.
Interesting bans from Minion Miners.
I would like to, perhaps we can get them on Skype, talk to Minion Miners after this game, and understand exactly why the bans that they pick are the bans. I mean, Tychus made sense in game 1 with the Dahaka and the Nubarak, right? I kind of got the Tychus ban, but Artanis Valera has me scratching my head. But maybe you're right. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they scrim Super Tight all the time.
Right. Well, and I told you, I played with a few of the Super Tight guys before, but it's been a while. And yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain to remember if one of them was just a crazy Artanis player, but I just can't. I can't get that information to come to the surface of my mind.
Right.
My memory is so bad. All right, so Johanna ban, interesting.
I no longer know what is real.
I'm just ignoring bans. Bans don't exist. Bans are just a way to pass 10 or 15 seconds worth of time, and then we move on to the next pick.
Right? Like, I no longer understand. And the Nubarak still being And Sonya. All right, I do like the Sonya pick. A new Brack still being highly valued for everybody shocks me, but okay. I guess. Honestly, I haven't played a new Brack with his changes today, so I don't know.
Well, like I said earlier, I think the biggest change is in Cocoon, that shorter range. I think that's the most impactful one. But I personally, when I played him, I preferred Locust Swarms in my games. So I don't think he's going to hit me quite as hard, even though there are some other nerfs too. So if you weren't a player that relied heavily on that ult, like, really, that was a big competitive ult. That's what everybody in competitive took. But for your quick match in Hero League, I kind of like Locust Swarm. People clump up a lot more.
I feel like the problem is his missing health now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he lost a lot of health. And when that first happened to ETC, boom, everybody stopped playing ETC, right? So, yeah.
But Anubrak at least still has the mitigation from his hardened carapace.
That's true. That's true.
But it is his, I think it's his second round of health reduction, right? Didn't he get another one a month or so ago?
Yep.
So we'll see. But yeah, teams still seem to be willing to give him a shot.
I do like the Lunara variant pick. I feel like Super Titan Sick has a very damaging team sitting there at this point. So I do like that. It would be interesting to see. I feel like Tassadar would be a good pick here.
Interesting.
Something, you don't have the healing output to deal with Genji Lunara, especially with a variant lockdown on Brightwing.
But they also don't really have any burst damage.
That's true. That's really true. Ah, man.
So would we get a Li Ming? Would you get, I don't know about a Chromie. Chromie gives you good vision, but she may be a little bit too vulnerable on this big map.
I don't know. The Tassadar Tracer makes it really nice though, and then you definitely wouldn't blow somebody up, but you could sustain the heck out of it. But we get a Rainer again. Rainer,
yeah, that's got to be a comfort pick.
I was just gonna say Rainer is definitely someone's comfort pick. 100%. That's a comfort pick right there.
I 100% approve of that skin choice. Back in the alpha days when heroes first became a thing, I remember looking at the website and seeing what was at the time called Patriot Rainer. And before I even got into the alpha, I'm like, that is the first skin that I'm buying. And it was. So as soon as I got in, I bought that Patriot Rainer. And I love that skin still. That's just such a sweet looking skin.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That works. All right, let's see if we can loading in here. By the way, thank you EO9 Notorious for the follow. But more importantly, we have a game on our hands. Super Titan Sick currently down 0-1 in this best of 3. On the blue team, we have Even Uno playing that variant, Apex on the Uther, Cloud9 on the Lunara, Cloud6 on the Dahaka, and Grok on the Genji.
And on the red side, we have Casey Strom on Sonya. Quick Hips on Brightwing. Westgrow is playing Anubarak. Sir Mac of Cheese is playing Tracer. And Nightblade CD on the Rainer. Again, second game in a row.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably his comfort pick. Which is fine, right? People have comfort picks.
Yeah. And it didn't seem to be an issue. He wasn't exploited or anything in the first game, so... And again, this isn't a bad map for Rainer. You know, he may not be as strong as some other picks, but he can go 1v1 against other heroes.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Time remaining. 10 seconds.
So for the first time, I watched the trailer for this map, and I didn't realize that the AI went crazy, and that's why the nukes keep popping up.
Ah. I had forgotten that part. I don't remember exactly who the pilots are, but I love the fact that the pilots in the core are famous StarCraft players.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and again, I forget who they are, but they're old school StarCraft pros that are like well known, and those are the guys that eject out at the end. And I didn't know how people figured that out, but apparently that's really a thing.
Awesome.
So we've got our fight over vision that appears to be winding down slightly in the favor of the red team.
The Haka really low, man. Damage went out on both sides, but the Haka really low.
Yeah, but for the second game in a row, we've got super tight, slow to get to lanes.
That's true. With Minion Miners, Sonya, and Anubarak already split out, which is interesting. That leaves 3 squishies in the middle. It could work on this map. Still an interesting way of doing it, though.
And they still haven't rotated bottom. They're going to miss out on a full wave of experience and maybe more. Now, Dahaka just now got down there.
What's interesting is because of that, I was hoping they'd wait a little longer. Sonya would be able to push into that wall. Like a Nubarak is wasting ammo in that top wall right now. In mid lane, yeah, okay. Little bit more damage going out to the side of Minion Masters, but they're still doing fine.
Tracer in there getting some good harass and taking the kill on Genji. Unexpected.
Yeah. I did not expect it to be Genji to go down first, to be honest. I thought it would be Lunara, but okay. I did think that Minion Miners was going to get that first kill in that middle lane. This will be interesting. Does Varian come down to assist with the Warhead, or does he stay at the top? And it looks like he's going to stay top. Tracer making her way down to that bottom lane to assist in the bottom Warhead.
Yeah, and Dahaka's going to have to probably back. He can't do anything. He is just have a sliver of health remaining.
Oh, he's looking to go in. She's going to kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
Dahaka, why?
I don't know about that decision. I mean, you know, I know it's your instinct to want to contest, but you just can't do anything there.
Genji goes down again. But all four... Go ahead.
I was just going to say both nukes going over to the side of Minion Miners and a kill on top of it. 2 kills, actually.
Yeah, 2 kills. Minion Miners showing that even without global heroes still have a good handle on rotations.
Now, Sonya got her nuke off on the bottom, but Dahaka from Super Tight did get some good pushback and forced her to go back and hit the fountain.
Which I think might have been planned because she's rotating around to camps now and Brightwing has taken over the soak. So,
yeah, and that looks to be a good rotation on the part of Minion Miners.
Absolutely, and that's going to give extra push in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, they continue to soak every other lane.
I really like the coordination that we're seeing from Minion Miners. They really seem to have good teamwork, good communication, good rotation. Their macro game seems strong.
Anubarak successfully dropping his nuke top lane. Getting a little bit of a rotation, but that means mid lane is super weak right now. And we might see another kill, but Sonya facing a Genji and a Dahaka bottom lane with her 2 Firebats. Not doing bad there either. And there's the Lunara death I was waiting for. Tracer doing Tracer things, and then continuing on to the Uther. Yep. Of course, she can recall, and that's not a problem.
Seeing a good Tracer is one of my favorite things in this game. I just think she's such a fun hero to watch.
I have never been able to successfully play Tracer, I'm not going to lie. A good Tracer, watching a good Tracer is absolutely a joy. I am not that good Tracer.
She's one of my favorites. She's like one of my fun heroes. If I log in and I just want to be entertained and have a good time, and I'm trying to figure out which hero is going to help me do that, it's often Tracer.
I could see that. I don't know. You know what? I feel that way about D.Va now.
I enjoy her as well. She's
a fun one. Up, Tracer rotating down to the middle lane since Rainer's taking a bunch of damage, and finishes off Lunara with a melee chop.
Yeah, good rotation there by Tracer. And even with her leaving the top lane, Minion Miners is still getting the better of the push up there, even though it's 1v2.
And now Tracer rotating bottom lane, while Genji rotates back to the mid to continue to soak. This could spell disaster for Dahaka.
And once again, we've got Super Tight down a full level at this point.
Well, what's interesting too, so Minion Miners is losing soak mid. Rainer did just die. They're losing a little bit of soak top because of Nubarak bead. Sonya's getting a camp, and Tracer's back to mid, so they're getting that soak again. But they're rotating around this map quite quickly and trying to maintain their 1-level lead that they have right now.
We've got 4 different warheads up, which really spreads the teams out here.
So Varian's going to easily grab that top one because he was solo, and nobody was up there to challenge him. Tracer's chasing Uther with Sonya. If they stayed on that, I feel like they could have got the kill, but instead, Lunara's and Genji are in a really bad place. Genji's going to go down first.
And it's interesting that after Varian fired his nuke top, he didn't rotate. He's still up there even.
They're trying. They got to catch up, right? They're almost a full level behind. 10 is about to go over to Minion Miners. Super Titan Sick has to do something to catch up. And having Varian stay top and try and get some structures is, I think, the only way they felt they could do that.
Maybe, but then he rotates late, and now they just seem to be maybe a little bit unclear on their shot calling, because he left top, went about halfway to mid, and then stopped and went back to top, which, again, when you're behind, just makes it worse.
And right now, Minion Miners is just putting on a clinic right now in this bottom lane. They killed Uther. They killed Dahaka. And
now I'd like to see them save this nuke here. I don't want them nuking bottom when they've got a strong push already.
No, don't waste it on the fort. Use it on the keep wall. Or the keep, right? Like, you don't need to use that on the fort. Especially with the fact that you have your heroics.
Well, or even middle. If you want to use them on a fort, that's fine. Do it on middle, a lane that's already still pretty strong. But they're going to get that bottom fort anyway. They don't need to be wasting nukes on it.
Oh, nope. Brightwing apparently using his nuke, wanting to finish this off. And that leaves only one nuke. I think Rainer's holding that last nuke, right? Yep, Rainer's still holding a nuke.
Yeah.
That fort is so close to dead, but not quite able to get it.
Could see some crazy Tracer blink in, melee, blink out kind of thing. Looks like they're not going to take the risk, though.
No, I think instead they're just going to have Sonya grab that camp and let the camp push with Brightwing and Tracer in that bottom lane still. And with that camp, I could see Brightwing and Tracer and Sonya taking that fort pretty easily.
I'm really surprised at how well Tracer's doing against Genji. That shouldn't be a matchup that favors her.
No, it really shouldn't, but they're doing actually pretty good with it. She's doing work. I'm surprised as well, but she's getting it done. And, Lunara scouted out the Sonya on the camp invade and pays with it. Pays for it with her life. Oh, that's brutal.
Genji's going to come up there and see what he can do, though. He's just driving by, just to visit.
Genji, you don't want any of that, man. Trust me. Oh, he's going in.
Well, he's thinking to himself, I'm supposed to be able to out-duel Tracer.
He's not
he's
going
2 levels down. Now, 2 levels, that's hard to overcome.
But I don't know if they're going to be able to do this 2 on 3.
They may turn this.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, it's a 1-for-1, right? And
well, 1 for 2, really, because they picked off the Lunara when she first peeked in. So I'm going to count that in the same. But now we got a 3-on-3 going. That's not going to work out as well for them. The bottom lane is actually pushed up to the keep wall. So actually totally worth. And Anubarak is pushing into the fort top lane. So both boss lanes are actually doing great.
The longer the Minion Miners drug that out in the middle, the better it was for them, because they had the pushes in top and bottom going at the same time.
Right, and now Sonya's grabbing the Bruiser S camp. I can't remember what it's called in the game, but the Bruiser S camp top lane right now.
And the timing of that might have been off just a bit, because they did get bogged down in that middle team fight. But generally speaking, they've been pretty good about their Merc Cap timings to get value while the objectives are up.
Right. Oh.
Now they're going to get the better of it up top, super tight.
Dahaka does finish that channel to pick up that nuke, but Uther is in a bad spot and may be about to die. Sonya coming in from behind. Dahaka may also go down. Genji using his everything he can to try and cause some damage. Not going to be able to do it. Does have the Dragon Blade out, but it looks like he's already sheathed it and is done with that. Nuke on the ground.
Oh, we got the Hyperion coming in. That may be enough to secure it.
Oh, it is. It is. Genji has to back out. He can't stay in on that. So I like this idea. I would like to see... I would have liked to have seen Anubarak go forward. Oh, no, they're going boss. They are indeed going boss. Lunara is holding the other nuke. Tracer wasn't quite able to finish her, so she's barely alive and hearthing back to the Hall of Storms to heal up. This early healing is almost instant when you hearth.
Right. Now it looks like Super Tight might want to contest this. I don't know that it's the best decision, but I don't know what else they can do. But they're going to be just a little bit late, and that may save them a couple of kills. But they're going in there anyway.
Oh, this might cause them a couple of deaths in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure contesting it was the right thing anyway, but if you don't contest it before they capture it, you definitely can't contest it after.
No, we just have, that's 2 down. We have Uther really low. He's going to go down here. Oh, nope, he de-shields himself. That won't last forever, Uther.
I think they just felt super tight. I think just felt like they had to do something. They were in the same situation last game where they got behind in experience and they just got suffocated. The pressure was just too much. I think they decided we're drawing a line in the sand and we're gonna make a move somewhere.
Now, what I don't want is Minion Miners to back out on this too quickly. The nuke has been taken off the field now. You still have a relatively healthy boss. Oh, Hyperion should have been saved, I feel like. Hyperion could have been used on the core, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and back out. And just...
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they should have stayed more aggressive there. They had pressure. They could have continued to apply it. I don't think this is a bad decision. It's just not the most... They're not getting the most value out of the pressure they had.
Yeah, they definitely could have pushed all...
They might have gotten the shields down.
Right. Or at least, you know, pushed in far enough. You were 16 against 14, right?
Right.
You could have at least... Right, and then the game's over.
Exactly.
You know, now looking at it now, okay, so now you reset, you grab 3 of the 4 nukes, and then you go back and you do the same thing. With 4 nukes, you march in the top lane, drop them on the core, and the game's over, right?
Right.
All right.
So you may be in a little bit of trouble here.
Tracer coming in to help her.
Tracer coming in, yep.
And a new Barak now that he has picked up that first nuke.
Right wing zoning in. Yeah, they're going to turn this here. But Super Tight does want to contest it.
I don't know if this is going to work out. 15 versus 17. They are a tier down, and all the damage is coming out from Minion Miners getting the kills. That's going to be Dahaka next. Uther following, and I don't know that Lunar is getting out this time.
I don't think she is.
Well, she might.
They let her go.
Chaser's got the nuke, though. You're holding 3 nukes. You got 2 catapults coming with you. Like, this is game. All those dead, that's game.
Now, you're better off getting the shield down before you fire off the nukes, right? I don't think it's going to actually matter in this game.
It didn't.
Oh, look at that core drop. Oh, my goodness.
That core went down so fast.
That was insane.
Holy cow.